Hey guys, it's Canadian Queen 76, and today I want to talk to you about Braxton Family Values, Season 2, Episode 6. The sisters featured in this episode are Toni, Tamar, and Towanda. It starts out with Toni wanting everyone to come to LA because she wants to give them some big news. Now, the only ones privy to this information are Miss Evelyn, which is Toni's mom, and Towanda, who plays as Toni's assistant sometimes. And it kind of gets on Trina and Tamar's, gets under their skin. They actually go out to eat with Towanda the day prior to Toni revealing the news, and they try to get information out of Towanda, but Towanda is really good at keeping secrets, and she does not budge. They try to, Tamar tries her best to get Towanda to explain to her what's going to happen. Towanda will not let it be known. So let's fast forward to the dinner table at Toni's house. She's giving them cheese, she's giving them wine, she's trying to create a very peaceful atmosphere so that way she can tell them the news. But everyone is kind of uptight because anytime Toni gives news and she waits to, she wants to announce it, it's always usually something big, like last time she announced she had lupus. And I guess some other times prior to that, it's always something dramatic or something that the family will find scary. So they're apprehensive about it, but as well as they should be, but Toni is also apprehensive about telling them. The good thing is, though, that Toni is able to have her mother, Miss E, and her father, Michael Sr., there to be support. And, from last season, Season 1, her mother and father haven't dealt with a lot of issues in their past, and so to have them there to support and not be at each other's necks is a really good thing for Toni. So let's fast forward. She says that she has to undergo surgery the next day. So the family is, of course, blown away because they're finding out this information, and they're trying to react to it. Tamar gets emotional. Well, actually, everybody gets emotional, but Tamar's more emotional to the point of crying, and her mom and her dad are really supportive, and her dad leads the family in a prayer. And this is where I really didn't know too much about the dad. I didn't realize that he was a pastor of a church when all of this stuff broke out with him being a cheater and their family, their family unit breaking up. And I didn't realize they were all preachers' kids. I knew they liked to sing a lot of gospel songs, and they had a huge song, and music was a huge piece of their background history. But he was a pastor of a church, and so he leaves them in prayer, and he says something, and they kind of, they have a joke, and they laugh, and it was like good times, and it was kind of cool to have them at least get along for, Toni at this point. Toni also announces that it's probably going to take about 6 to 8 weeks for her to recover. She can't tour, and she will pretty much have to just kind of relax. So that's going to be a big damper on her engagements, her singing engagements, her career. Surgery, so we know that she can't really do anything. Fast forward to Tamar. Tamar is working on her album. Oh my goodness, I am excited. I listened to a lot of Tamar's old music, or her albums that she put out. She has a very good singing voice, you guys. And I was like, last season she just complained about not being able to start this project. So now she's able to start this project with the producers that she wants. She's working with Harvey and Damon, and they're going through some tracks, and she's listening, no, 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 and then Tamar's like, yes. Oh my gosh. Tamar actually likes something. So she's working on her first single, and she has about no confidence now. She has no confidence because she's been, battered and battered over and over again, hit us upside the head. And so even though she portrays a high level of confidence, she's really insecure right now at this point with her music career. So she prefers to write music on her own. She doesn't want to really collab with everyone. I guess as the project gets, if she gets deeper into the project, that confidence will come back little by little. But so she's writing, and she encounters writer's block, and she wants to talk to her husband, Vincent, about a particular song. And he gives her some advice, and it kind of goes over her head. He basically was like, take a moment and quit focusing on it, and maybe you'll be able to get back on the project and be able to overcome this writer's block. That piece of advice didn't happen. So then he was like, okay, what is it? And so basically she really wanted him to listen to what it was, and he said, well, go ahead and sing it. And she's like, for real? So she sings a snippet of the song that she's working on, and it sounds really good. And he said it too. He said it sounds really good, but he has no interest in helping her write it, and that's what he tells her. And so that basically puts a damper on her spirit because he didn't want to help her do that. And so Tamar's back at it again, where she's going to have to write her way out of this block, at least in this episode. Hopefully he helps her on songs down the way. Towanda is caught between helping Toni once again and being there for Andre, who surprisingly put his book signing release dates, the weeks that's going to happen, on her unexpectedly. She's a planner by nature, so he's basically saying this is going to happen in a couple weeks, but she's already had plans to help Toni through the surgery. So she's caught between that, and Andre feels like she doesn't support him, or he falls in, I guess, a priority list for Towanda, top 5, but not 1, 2, or 3. He's probably 5. And so he's like, well, here I am fighting for that. But she's like, hey, that's not fair. I had things planned. He said, but you drop everything for them based on your priorities, which is true. She admits it. And so she figures out a way to show up at the book signing release. And she has Toni. Toni sends her on her way because Toni has a new assistant, so that has been trying to be there for her and help her. So Towanda and Trina are able to make Andre's book signing, which seems to be a very good success. And she gives them support. She's very motivational, and she's very inspirational, and she's there in full spirit. And even gives them a kiss, which I think is really cute. So I'm not saying that Andre is out of the doghouse when it comes to providing for his family and taking care of his kids, his wife and his kids, but he did complete this book, which is that 69 Ways, some kind of advice book. But you can buy that book online on his website and purchase it through PayPal or using your credit card. So that book is really out. And so he has finished that project, so I had to give him kudos for that, and he did finish that project. So that's just recap the whole thing. Toni, she did have surgery, and it was successful, and so she's recovering, praise God. And there was a special moment in the whole episode where the family got together, and Michael Sr. sat beside Miss E, and basically he said, we need to be here for the kids, and Miss E pretty much resonated the same idea. And so the kids were really relieved to see their parents putting forth that effort to be there for them and to support them through, their adult achievements. So I really think that's really good that the family's moving by. But Tamar did make a really good point, a valid point. They're just not ready to move on and accept his new life, and I guess that'll come at a later date. I think Trina has, because Trina actually lives in Maryland where her father is. So I think Trina is a lot closer to her father than the rest of the sisters and the brother, because you see them sometimes. So I think they're moving in the right direction where they're getting to a point of forgiveness and being able to live through that forgiveness. So that's Braxton Family Values, and I hope you all like this review. Talk to you later. You all have a good holiday. Bye.